Today's question about the stock market is a very simple one, but a very important one. It has to do about shares of Apple. And the question I'm asking is whether the stock is overbought. And before you go ahead and leave crazy comments down below because you're super bullish or super bearish stock, hear me out. When you look at a stock like Apple, which is clearly an important stock, clearly there's a great growth story there, you have to always kind of be able to see the other side, because if shares of Apple stop pulling higher, parts of the other market, at least if parts of tech, stops going higher as well. So I want to just show you guys a couple thoughts here. Take it for what it's worth. Again, you know, this is not something that's written in stone. I do think Apple's a great company long term, but as you'll see, I think it's overbought for the time being. Let's have a look. So here is the chart of Apple, and I'm going to bring it in more in focus so you guys can actually see this. And what this is here is a chart of Apple looking back. You can see goes all the way back like 2005 or something like that. And it's a weekly chart, meaning that each one of these, you know, sort of candles, I guess, well, not I guess, it's exactly what they are, is a weekly increment. So if I'm going to just draw a very, very simple line, and this is really just super simple, and I'm just going to try to connect as many dots as possible, and I think it starts about here, right? It's almost like a regression line if you're statistically privy. You kind of see that that's about, you know, roughly speaking, what the stock has been moving higher in over the past, you know, sort of, I guess, almost 10 years or so. And again, I'm just trying to connect as many dots as possible. You can kind of roughly see what's going on. Now, if we zoom a little bit closer, you'll also see that every time the MACD, or the Moving Average Convergence Divergence Index, that's down here, look at the bottom part of the chart. Every time it got significantly up here in like the high teens, or the high, you know, above like say 7 or so, it started to kind of see the stock struggle making sustainable new highs. It happened here. It happened here. It happened here for a bit, right? At least for a few weeks, the stock then stopped going higher, and it's right now probably going to happen again, in my opinion. And now also notice that the stock is breaking out, it's going vertical out of this big channel. Now, if we go and make this a daily chart, and I'm going to quickly get rid of these two lines here, we'll do a similar analysis. First of all, note what the daily MACD looks like. Okay, the daily MACD, again, it's the momentum oscillator. It's not the only thing you need to care about, but it's noteworthy because it is very overbought right now as the stock has gone vertical. Now let's draw a bit more of a more near-term sort of channel if we can, and we're just going to kind of draw something like this, which is more or less what the stock has been trading in higher in over the past, let's say, year and a half or so. And you can see here too, the stock has really gone vertical, and it's also very much diverging away from these moving averages, which is basically what the MACD moving average is telling us. In my opinion, Apple here is not a great buy. I don't think one should short it necessarily, although I do think ultimately the stock will mean revert back into 200. But I just thought this would be an interesting sort of very simple but a straightforward analysis that if you, by just drawing some simple lines, you can see that a stock like this is probably overbought. Again, doesn't mean the stock has to fall apart. Doesn't mean the stock is a short. Now, I just think right now the reward to risk to buy the stock up here is really quite bad for the near to maybe intermediate term. And that's exactly the kind of stuff as well that we're going to teach you. As you guys know, in Denver, Colorado, September 14th to 16th, we have one VIP ticket left. We actually added 2 more yesterday. So if you're interested, should be a link down below in the comment section, or if you're watching this on an email, you can get it there as well. So that's my very simple, but I think fairly effective analysis on Apple. I hope this makes sense, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.